Their parents didn't have anything. And the kids have got it by the balls, man. They could cripple this fucking country if they wanted to by not drinking Coca-Cola for 6 months.
Right.
And if they'd find out, man, they would rule the world. I tell you, you want to put your magazine on the map? You do an article that would tell the teenager. I don't mean like, well, we're going to write you a little story. This is maybe you can think that this is just a fairy tale. You want to give them the actual things, the facts. This is how Madison Avenue regards you. You are this valuable in terms of a market. Okay. Here is what you could do if you really wanted to take over. If you could show them that. Listen, a step-by-step article on how to conquer the United States. Be the first kid on your block to rule the country. You could suggest that they stop drinking soft drinks. You could suggest that if everybody in their particular town decided to walk more and drive less, gasoline sales are going to go down. You multiply that by nationwide. You know what that would do? You would force major concerns to lobby in an 18-year-old vote. You know it would be better than Teen Power would be an insane thing as a magazine in itself. Just, like one of those one-shot magazine deals, like Teen Power. And I think that you'd have people screaming for the second issue. How to take over the United States, man, with a bottle of soda pop would be unbelievable. With common household appliances, and you could rule the world.
Well, I remember there was a gag in Mad Magazine, one of their takeoffs once. One of the villains' plots to destroy the world economy was to make counterfeit Coke bottles and turn them in for deposit. And,
they could have Coke bottle breaking protest marches.
I wonder if there would be enough of them to get together to
Do you wonder?
well,
I'll tell you what. I wondered whether anybody outside of Los Angeles would buy our record, without being made to buy it by promotional hype.
right.
And I sure was wrong. Because there are kids all over the country in the small towns. Do you know what it's like to have a brain, anything larger than a raisin, and live in a small town? Agony, man. Those kids are waiting to do something.
Eric Anderson does a song about that. About, what it's like to be hit in a small town, with small-minded people all around you. And it's a very good song, very funny song.
But it's real, man. Those people are just sort of popping out and fiddling around saying, well, listen, it's almost 5 o'clock, and that's the thing that really hangs me up about New York, man. Everything quits at 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
In L.A., if I want to work 36 hours a day, I know at least if I want to get something to eat, there's going to be someplace open nearby.
Well, there are places in Midtown that are open.
Yeah? Well, I mean, not offices. I mean, the business just seems to stop. It's not like everybody really wants to make it 8 to 5. Even in show business here, it's 8 to 5.
Yeah.
We go to get into the hall where we're working, man. The guy says, I don't get down here until after 4:30. You can't get in. If we want to rehearse at 9 o'clock, can't do it. There is definitely a revolutionary tendency. Among the people who are alive and well and thinking in the United States today, of all ages, they're getting to the point where they're fed up enough with the way things are and the way things have been, and also can see just a glimmer of hope that they could change it. Now it's possible at this point in history to change things.
That's true. Do you think the West Coast riots, for example, are an example of this, of teens just starting to realize
Absolutely.
that somebody is trying to, the real estate people, whoever it is, trying to put them down, and they're rebelling against it?
Absolutely, but the thing is, the type of leadership that rises out of that was kind of a spontaneous thing. So you've got this CAF, which is a organization to help the kids. Well, I think it's a hype. I don't think they're really going to help the kids. They have raised some money for bail bonds, and do you know about the organization and who's in it?
No.
Derek Taylor, Bob Denver, Gene Clark, some millionaire, Van Reventlow.
Yeah, Lance Reventlow, yeah.
And it was, written up in the underground press in L.A. that was going to happen, but I have yet to see anything really revolutionary come out of it. What it is like a defense mechanism. It's not a leadership device. It's something to help the kids if they get in trouble.
Right.
But that doesn't.
But it doesn't. It's sort of it's a cure, but it's not a preventative.
Well, you don't want a cure. Yeah.
And it's sort of, and it was a cure after the disease is already struck.
Yeah. But see, it's not a disease.
Or whatever.
The kids are the cure.
Yeah.
The kids are the cure.
What I mean is the organization, in other words, is sort of taking care of things after something happens rather than trying to prevent it from happening in the first place. They're getting around it somehow.
You see,
or meeting it head on.
It shouldn't have prevented it from happening. It should have made it happen.
Yeah. Well, all right, yeah.
You see, that's the thing. The kids are what's right, as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
And I think the real estate owners
But I mean,
here and there.
When I say by prevented, I should say prevented, somehow try to prevent the real estate people from making the situation.
That's right. They should have, because you know what Sunset Boulevard is really like? You ever been there?
No, I haven't.
Sunset Boulevard is one story, mostly, all the way down the line. I mean, the strip, which lasts maybe about a mile. And it used to be really groovy with this one club called the Strip, which is about the middle of the strip. And then a lot of police harassment, and they changed the type of music that they played in the Strip, and the kids went to the Whiskey A Go-Go. There's maybe 3 or 4 long hair, new music dance places in the whole of metropolitan Hippieville there. And they're spread out.
What are they now?
Let's see, you've got the Whiskey A Go-Go, you've got the Brave New World, you've got Beto Litos, and you've got Pandora's Box, is still open part of the time, and you've got the Sea Witch. Except for the Whiskey A Go-Go, all the rest of them, if you put them together, would probably equal the Whiskey A Go-Go. They're this big.
Mm-hmm.
The Whiskey A Go-Go books name acts, and the other places have local groups in them. Oh, and there's one other place up on Cahuenga. The Maze or something like that. But they're all dying because the police department is stamping out dancing. Now, they know, remember how strong this appeal is to the primitive mind, which is the motivation level of most of these kids, that dancing in the animal sense on the West Coast is different than here. They don't dance rigid stereotype routines. They just get out there and they dance what's inside of them. They'll dance by themselves. They'll dance 6 or 7 at a time, and it's scary to watch, man. If you're a policeman and you see those kids dancing, we played this one show called the Guambo, which stands for Great Underground Artist Orgy and Mass Ball and Orgy or something like that. Anyway, they expected 500 kids to turn up to this place called the Aerospace Hall. Cops came over there. Oh, we don't want 500 kids dancing, man, in one place. You kidding? In L.A., all these freaks dancing, it scared me to death. There's no place in town that holds 500 kids, right? Police went down there to the Aerospace Hall, said, we're going to take your liquor license, your health permit. We're going to take it all away if you let those kids in this door the day before it was supposed to happen, with 3 weeks of advertising out. See? Okay, so the Free Press, the LA Free Press, the underground newspaper there, which was sponsoring the event, says, oh no, what do? We got all this bread sunk into it. It would have almost, been a financial disaster for the paper, and the police just fucked them up. And they had a contract with the hall and everything. So, on one day's notice, they moved it completely out of Hollywood to a relatively unsavory part of town at 6th and Western, which is not hip at all, to a place called the Danish Community Center, which holds 900 kids on the 3rd floor. And one day, they moved all their stuff down there and put the word of mouth out, and had a couple of people waiting at the Aerospace Hall to say, it's down there. And 3,000 kids turned up, man, just from under the rocks, and these weird-looking people. And they're standing in the street, and they're saying, who are the brain police, and it can't happen here. And all of a sudden, like about